Welcome all of you students. In this lesson, we are talking about when your program has many for loop, what will be the execution process? Explain with debugging, right? I remove this for loop and let some console dot console dot use right line console dot right line and I value, right? And I add one more for loop here. Now we can use I variable. The reason is this I is local to this for loop, right? We can't access outside this for loop, right? This I also local to this for loop, right? No conflict with these two, right? If you want, you can change this, right? Now you can see this thing. We have two for loop in same level in your program, right? This for loop and this for loop all are in same level. We know our program execute or run top to bottom, right? Top to bottom mean whatever content you keep inside main method, right? This top to bottom concept apply for main method, right? If you are not calling some classes or method inside main method, it will never run, right. Now I want to explain what will be the process, right? I put a debug point here and start run your application, right? You can see your debug point has hit, right? Now you can use this stop over, click 1 or use shortcut F10, right? I use F10. It comes to this line, then initialize I to 1. Now you can check I value is 0, right? This time I is 1. Now I is 1. Then check I is less than or equal 10. Actually, this is condition. This part return result will be boolean value, right? That boolean value is true. Execute this part. This boolean value is false. Terminate your application. Terminate your for loop, right? Now check the condition as third part. Execute the content, right? Not increment or decrement. Execute the content, then increment, right? Increment or decrement. Then again initialize. Now I is 2, right? Now you can see now I is 2. Then check 2 is less than or equal 10. Yes, that also true. Then execute I as 2. Execute mean this time print something in console, right? Then it will print 2 in console, and again I will increment. Now I is 3, right? That way you can see first completely execute this for loop. That means you are until your iteration complete, this for loop will run, right? You can see this until 10 times this will run. After this iteration was complete, comes to next for loop. Then this iteration will run, right? This debugging and exercises are important. The reason is we have to practice many examples with for loop. Basically asterisk pattern printing, asterisk pattern, right? You have to have good idea about this for loop, right? That's why I use few videos for explanation, right? Now you can see the result. First for loop 1 to 10, second for loop also 1 to 10. Think about this. Now your for loop has it contain inside this for loop. Right? Now you can't use this I. It changed to J. Okay. J. Right. This part I explained in last lesson also, but you need to identify it with debugging, right? Use F10 key. You can see first I assign I first value assigned. Now I is 1. Check 1 is less than or equal 10. Yes, that is true. Then print 1 and comes to actually if condition is true, whatever content inside your for loop that will run, right? Without incrementing, right? Now this one print and execute or iterate all the content inside for loop. Now you can see with F10. Actually you can use one more debug point. Right. Now you can see comes to second part. Now I is 2, right? Again come to this part, again run 10 times. Actually we use for loop when we exactly know how many iterations we want to iterate, right? If we use actually this time use 10 iterations, if it 0 it will be 11 iterations, right? But in here I use, right? This is important. If you have many for loops in your program, you have to have good idea what will be the process, right? If you have 2 for loops in same level, it followed top to bottom order, right? First iterate this part and second iterate this part. If you have 2 for loop, one inside second, first these 2 will initialize and check condition, then execute the content inside this for loop. Mean that for loop, that content also has for loop. It will iterate until this iteration complete, then increment or decrement again that part will happen, right? That's it. That's the thing I want to explain, right? I think now you have good idea about for loop, right? In later examples we use practicing for loop examples, right, with asterisk sample patterns, right? Okay, that's it for this lesson. Let's move into next lesson.